Normally you'd associate Christmas dinner with hours spent slaving over a stove, but not all courses need be like that. One easy to prepare option is cheese, and with me is Antony Worrall Thompson. Antony, what goes into the perfect cheese board?
I think you've got to look at a balance between the different cheeses. I mean, think about it, there's hundreds of cheeses now, but you don't want a massive cheese board. You don't want it hanging around too long. You want people to use it. And I would always say there should be a balance of a hard cheese, a blue cheese, and a soft cheese. You really only need 3 cheeses. The key for me is get them out the fridge well in advance of eating them. You don't want them fridge cold. You'll never develop the wonderful flavours of cheese if they're fridge cold. So make sure in the morning when you get up for Christmas, you take your cheeses out, keep them somewhere at room temperature so they can develop those lovely flavours.
What are the best cheeses to offer then?
Well, I'm a bit of a, as far as it comes with cheese board, I quite like going back to some classics. I mean, Christmas Day is that classic day, isn't it? And what better than what we've got here? Looking at perfect balance of cheese board, you're looking for a hard, a blue and a creamy. Here we've got Osserati, which I've discovered this year actually, and I think it's become one of my favourite cheeses. It's a sheep's milk cheese from the Basque country. It's quite hard, so it's a good hard cheese for you. It's got a lovely sort of creaminess and a sort of, I'd say, a nuttiness to it, and I think that's a wonderful cheese. Société Roquefort is the king of all cheeses. That's what they say about Roquefort. It's that classic blue. It's got nice sort of saltiness to it, lovely creaminess at the same time, beautiful blue cheese. And of course here, the Président Camembert. Well, what can I say about Camembert? It hasn't been said thousands of times. It's a delicious cheese. It's a great, great classic. It's soft. I mean, the British like it, actually probably softer than the French like it. I like it when it's just almost slightly oozing. It's got that sort of richness and that creaminess that we associate with a good soft cheese. Those are the perfect 3 for me. I mean, there's obviously hundreds of cheeses you can choose, and they must be down to you, but those, you'll please most people.
When precisely should you be eating your cheese? Before your pudding, after your pudding, when?
Well, historically the British would have had it at the end of a meal, where the French would have it before the pud, the British often would have it after the pud. I'm a bit of a French fan on that basis. I do think that after the main course should come the cheese board. So you're keeping savoury, savoury. If you go from savoury to sweet and then back to savoury, I'm not sure the British have got it quite right there. So I like to carry on drinking my good red wine with the cheese. So you come from the main course, you've had your red wine, you've still got some left, perfect with the cheese.
Personally, when I have my cheese at Christmas, I like to have it on a cracker and some pickle as well. But I get really, really badly mocked for having pickle with my cheese. Am I right?
You're right in certain circumstances. I'm not sure you're right on Christmas Day after a heavy meal. I think you're right if you're in a country pub and you're looking for the ploughmans and pickle and chutneys. I make a load of them for my pubs because you've got lovely acidity in the chutneys plus a hint of sweetness as well. So the balance with cheese goes really well. But I'm not sure that would be right after a big meal.
And what are the advantages to a chef of a cheese board on Christmas Day?
Well, I wouldn't say not necessarily a chef. I would say the advantage to the general public because it's something easy to do. You can get it out earlier in the day. You can have it all prepared. You haven't got to think about heating up, steaming your pudding and things like that. This is just something that can be done ahead. You've got some grapes, you've got some celery. Be careful of grapes and celery if you're drinking the red wine because they can detract from red wine. They're really good with port. Don't go with biscuits with too much flavour. I don't want a cheese biscuit with a cheese. I want something that's going to complement the cheese rather than sort of adding to the cheese if you want.
Antony, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
So there you have the recipe for the perfect festive season. Free the chef from the shackles of the oven and go for a Christmas cheese board.